Hey everybody, this is Andy Baldacci from SaberSim, and today I'm going to show you how to use CSVs to quickly enter or edit all of your lineups on FanDuel. The process is a little bit tedious. It's not that bad, and once you've done it a few times, it really becomes second nature. But the reason there's this manual work that has to be done to kind of bulk enter your lineups is DraftKings and FanDuel both have banned software from interacting directly with their site. And the reason for this is just they don't want to have anyone get an edge because they've written a better program, a faster program to get their lineups in and updated. And so this levels the playing field for everyone, even if it does add a little bit of extra work for everybody. That being said, let's just jump right into it. The first thing you're going to do is just make sure you're entered in all the tournaments you want to play. So for this, I just put 20 into the squeeze. I entered a few single entries, and I have 10 in the beanball. Once you've done that, you're going to go to Upcoming, find the slate you're playing, and then go over to the CSV Edit button. Click this link that says Download a CSV Template, and this file has all of your entries in it. And what we're going to do is get all of our lineups into that file. So jump over to your optimizer, click Download to get the CSV from there. And now you're going to need to open both of them up. And I use Excel for this. I think now Microsoft Office is less than $10 a month, so I'd recommend just paying for that. If you don't want to pay for a tool, if you don't play DFS that much, whatever, there is a free program called OpenOffice that has practically the same functionality in a little bit of a clunkier interface, and that's free. Just Google that and you should find it. One thing I would say is don't use an online tool like Google Docs. It's just going to be a bit too tedious and slower, and I just wouldn't add any extra steps to the process. So we've got these files, we're going to open them up. The first thing I like to do is go into the entry file and just make sure all of the contests are grouped together correctly. And what I mean by that is just that they're all grouped in one block, so that in this list of 20 squeeze lineups, there's not a single entry breaking it up. And you'll see why that's important in a little bit, but right now it looks pretty good. And if it wasn't though, you could just highlight it and sort those columns to get them arranged correctly. We're good there though, and we're going to go over here to our lineup file, highlight all of the lineups, and these numbers are just the player IDs that FanDuel uses to know who you're playing. So copy those, go back into the entry file, and then find the tournament that is using your full set of lineups. For me, this is the squeeze. You're going to click the far left cell in the first lineup for that tournament and just paste it. And then I just double check that it lines up correctly. And sometimes if I screwed up and didn't put in as many entries as I thought, or maybe I messed up and didn't make as many lineups as I thought, you'll see that it doesn't quite line up, and that's just a sign to go back and fix whatever it is that went wrong. But right here, looks good. And the way SaberSim creates their CSV files is we just rank them based on the projected score for each. So the first entry on your list of lineups is what we project to be your highest performing lineup of the night. And the way I play tournaments that have different number of entries is I just put the top X entries in each tournament. So in a single entry tournament, I'm going to put my top lineup. In a 10 entry tournament, I'm going to put my top 10 and so on. Some people will do separate builds for each of those. That's just not my style. That's not what I do, especially when I'm just doing this for fun. But that out of the way, what we want to do now is just work down from biggest in terms of number of entries to smallest. So we did that 20 entry one here. The next biggest is going to be 10. And so I'm just going to go down to get 10. And what you can do is in the bottom right, you can see where it says count 10. That's the easiest way to just make sure you have the right number. Go over and select all of them, copy, and then do the same thing. Just paste those there. Now I have two single entries. I'm just going to select the top row, paste it there, and you're done. From here, I'm going to save the file. I recommend adding a time into this just so that you know what file is what, because if you're doing different runs throughout the day or different sports or whatever, it can just get a little bit messy, and this is the easiest way that I've seen to do it. So we'll go 12:51 p.m. Save. All right, we're good. So now we're going to go back into FanDuel. We keep this window up. We're going to upload this new file that we created, 12:51 p.m., and click Upload CSV and Edit Entries. You're just making sure there's no errors there. Sometimes if you skipped a row or things just didn't line up right, you'll get an error. So just kind of go through these steps again to troubleshoot that. But most of the time, it should work fine. And that's basically it. It's definitely a little bit annoying to have to go through these steps, but really, once you've done it a few times, it doesn't take much time at all. If you have questions about this or really about anything DFS related, you can always contact us and we're happy to help. The best way to do that is just shooting us an email at support@sabersim.com. But that's all I have for you today. Thanks for listening.